Welcome in again. Today we're going to talk about one of the newer features in LiveCount. We're going to get started by doing a quick auto count. There is a new AI feature where I could count these outlets, but we're not going to mess with that today. Maybe that's going to be for another time. I'm going to do this with the standard auto count. So I'm just going to grab that dialog here, trace my symbol, and we're just going to count this. We're going to call this data, 90 rotations, search it. When the search is done, I typically click on it. It will open in this grid view. What I'm doing here is just reviewing and looking. If there's something different that you're going to want to count differently, you want to exclude it here. These two data cables, which I'm guessing that stands for. This is 4. I'm going to assume everything else is 1. I want to eliminate these 2s and 4s, and then these ones at the end that mean, well, that one's okay, but I'll get rid of that one. And these are floor boxes, I think, so I'll get rid of those. And then that's typically my first go. I'm just going to visually look through this, and then I'm always going to the review on drawing to then look visually what it's going to do. And then if I miss something, you can click on these. If it turns red, that means it's going to exclude it. If it's green, it's going to include it. So pretty easy to go through and scan these if you missed anything, or if it missed something or misinterpreted it. Once it passes those two tests, then you're okay to commit to it. I'm going to say draw and close, and then it put these highlights at each outlet. Now I want to define the path for these cables to go home. And the way I do that is the new feature that we've got now in LiveCount, which is great, especially for this application where you have a home run for each outlet, which is typically its own cable in this case. It works fantastic. So we're going to get a pathway here. I'm going to draw this hall here. And that's all you're doing, is creating a path in which you want it to go. And then we're going to do another pathway here. Go down this hall. We're just going to do something like that. I probably could do this a couple different ways, but I know this works. So we'll do this hall. So now I've given, no matter where the outlet is, a defined path to get back to said data closet. Now what I can do is double click the count. I'm going to right click and do an endpoint, and I'm going to create an endpoint, which I'm going to click at the end there. I'm going to call this data rack, confirm it, and then it is seated in place. That gives it that home point. And then you can see what it did. It traced all of the lines back to there. So it just went from the outlet to the nearest pathway and then home. So it worked pretty good. I tied this into an assembly I've manipulated just to then capture this in the most effective manner. Let's go over and grab that in the estimating. I'm going to grab this horizontal cable assembly. I've labeled that with the auto home run feature. So what this does, it lets me pick the cable type, how many cables, which that's nothing new. I got a patch cord option. We'll do both ends. Now the count is what ties to what we auto counted. Now I can take this count over independently, tie it to the count I did to get my quantity of 52 in this case. Then it's asking for a cable length, which then I can take that over and then click my cable that I had it draw back home and then hit link. So I've done both in one assembly, and then it asks you a drop length. So this could be, let's go back here and visualize this. I'm going to go down at this outlet here. So let's say I want 10 feet to go vertical here, and then at the data rack I want to go down there as well. We'll say that is also 10 feet. Going back over here, I'm going to say 20 then, so that's an added length, 10 at the outlet, 10 at the data rack. And then if I want to do something like a service loop or just an arbitrary makeup length or something like that, I certainly can do that. So I'll leave 10 there as well. I'll do a 24 port patch panel, and then I can hit OK. What that will give me is my cable, which that looks about right visually to me. I measured 3,871 as far as just a strict horizontal, and then I added the 20 feet, added the 10 feet makeup, which then that looks about right with all that added together based on that many counts. Then that gives me all my modular outlets, labels, testing. There's my patch cords, my patch panel, all of that kind of stuff. So that's a quick glimpse into what you can do with that new feature. Like I was saying, the data stuff like this is a no-brainer because you're just having to pull a cable typically to each outlet. So I hope you enjoyed that one. As always, if you need our help with Accubid Anywhere or you need a database for Accubid Anywhere, that's our specialty. Feel free to check out our website on our YouTube page. You can find out all the information you need, and looking forward to hearing from you if you need some help. And thank you everybody again for subscribing to the channel and tuning in. Appreciate y'all.